This is Yohhamgambal. We're back playing Koudelka. Last time we were continuing through the monastery and we ran across a dark. We fought a couple of bosses, the Madfly and the Dark Young, and now we are continuing. I think I did some off-screen training. I can't remember. It's been a while since I recorded this part. I did a shit ton of recording of Koudelka yesterday. Like I beat the whole game, so I just haven't gotten around to doing my voice for it. But yeah, though I think I did a little bit of training, but now we have to continue on through the monastery. We're looking for a couple of things. Oh, yes, I did. So as you can see, in the previous room, there's a bunch of knights, and I trained off them, and I got a whole bunch of chainmail, which I keep through the rest of the game. It's actually really good. The frock isn't too bad. It's more for, you know, magical defense, but the chainmail is really nice because it just gives you a whole bunch of vitality, which is really good, which is always appreciated. But other than that, though, not much else. Just training up the levels, trying to get the magic up a little higher. Putting more emphasis on getting James to be kind of the buff and debuffer more than anything else. Because that's what his role really starts to become later through.
Always blame everything on the savagery of pagans. Are all men of the cloth like that?
It's senseless to tell you this, but the truth is...
What the?
I'm just expecting, like, Edward to go, "Why do you keep shooting at me? You could have killed me. I could have been killed. I just can't take any more chances." Anyways, what we have here is Daniel's arm. This is a very important item, and you cannot beat the game without it. Thankfully, it's in a very easy spot to grab it, but it's actually kind of, I feel, easy to miss just because it's in the debris of the chandelier. It can be kind of easy to mistake it, but it does kind of have a unique, ghostly white look to it, so I feel like you should be able to see it if you have decent eyesight or wear your glasses like you should, which I do. I wear my glasses. Anyways, if we come over here, we can lift the bolt over here, and this will take us back to the very beginning of the game. This place that we couldn't get through before. This is the bolted door, so you can kind of see how this monastery is connecting to each other, which is one aspect of the game I really do like. I guess it's very Resident Evil in that sense, where things kind of connect to each other, and if you know the layout of the place very well, you can travel very easily. Thankfully, I do know the place pretty well since I've played it multiple times, so later on, there's like backtracking, and the first time I did it, I was so lost, but now I can just do it no problem. Anyways, here we have an enemy we could have fought earlier on, so they're going to go down very easy. These are called Face. They're level 5 to 30, HP 196 to 1,369. They have 22 to 72 MP, and they absorb light, like pretty much every other creature in this damn game. It's a creature from the underworld. It sings sad songs of lament, telling of lost love and fallen lands, enticing victims to their doom. So they're basically, I guess, like flying sirens, except they're not beautiful. They're not like attractive because they're faces, unless you're into faces. In that case, go ham and go hog wild. But yeah, I don't know. Unless you just want to, I don't know. Yeah, they're really easy. They're very easy. But they're very creepy looking. Yeah, look at their magic. I mean, again, you could fight them earlier on, and even early on, they're fairly easy. And Koudelka keeps going first, and I didn't want to use her because I was thinking, well, if I try and use my magic with her, someone else is going to go and then kill her, and it's going to be a waste of MP. But no, everyone she just kept going, which sometimes happens. And Edward should be able to finish her arm off. Yeah. Yeah, I do like having the pistol up to level 3 because being able to shoot 3 times is really nice. But we are eventually going to leave the pistol, but we are going to eventually leave the single fire hand arm guns, whatever, behind soon because we're going to eventually go to the heavy guns. And then we won't be using any more pistols, which is a shame because I do prefer pistols, but the heavier firearms just give so much more attack. But you lose a little agility, but that's okay. Not too big of a deal. Anyways, I think we got an item from that. Oh no, I just had to fill James' pistol up. Anyways, we were shot from above, so let us go see what is going on up here. I mean, someone's shooting at us, and I don't appreciate that the kind of tomfoolery when I am trying to explore a haunted mansion, okay? I mean, a haunted monastery, okay? A man brandishing a gun comes at me. Oh god, he's gonna shoot me in my kneecaps. I can't even imagine how much that friggin' hurts. Anyways, we have here a special enemy. He's kind of like the boss, but he's not really. This is, I'm trying to know how to pronounce his name, but it's kind of weird. It's A-L-I-A-S. It's like Elias. It's like Elias. And, as you can see, he brought his two buddies, barrels. Now, this fight is unique because if you try to attack him, all attacks will miss. So you have to get rid of the barrels and boxes that he's by. Otherwise, you won't be able to hurt him. But the boxes are super easy. They're only like level 20 and they have just a little over 1,000 HP. They are incredibly easy to kill. I take out both boxes I take out both of the barrels in like one turn. Edward destroys him with the spear. Like, yeah, it's done. And then he runs away and he tries to shoot. I don't think he does I don't remember how much damage he does. I don't remember him. I think the first time you play through the game, he can be dangerous because you might not initially think you have to destroy the boxes. But otherwise, he's not too hard. He's fairly easy, so... Just, yeah. Yeah, as you can see, Koudelka's just doing some serious damage. Around 2,000, which is super great. And I'm really going to start using the James to buff up characters because, okay, this is how dumb I am. I didn't realize that you could actually use the buff up abilities more than once. You can actually use them as many times as you want, and every time you use them, it just stacks up on one another. So obviously when you leave the fight, it goes away, but you can just constantly stack and stack and stack and stack it. You can stack it until your character's AP becomes 100. So yeah, it's actually really good, and I, for some reason, never knew that. But yeah, this guy can be a little dangerous because, as you can see, he can shoot rapid fires with his. He can shoot rapid. He basically does high noon on you. Thankfully, he attacked Edward. So that's good because Edward has obviously the most vitality, which means he has the most defense and life. So if he did that with Koudelka, that would obviously do way more damage, but he didn't. And with that, we get a level up, which is nice, putting more into luck. I was trying to get more into luck because there's an item I wanted to get off an enemy. It's a very rare item, and for a secret boss later on, and I didn't get it at all. I only got like one, and I spent like 2 hours trying to grind for it, and all I got were levels, which was good, but I didn't get the item. Because, yeah, by the end of the game, our luck is like level 60, which is fine. I mean, that just means enemies won't attack us that often, which is good for Koudelka, because she really does need to, you know, stay away from the damage. Anyways, we get a couple of new items, the brown glass part, and a red key. And if you remember, the red key is what the couple used to hide from. The red key, they closed the door, and we couldn't get in there. But there's also another room in the treasure room that needed a red key. So with this red key, we can go to both places now. And thankfully, because of that shortcut down where the chandelier fell, we have a very quick access to the caregiver's room. So we will have to go pay them a visit and thank them for trying to poison me. It was very nice of them to do that.
Thief!
He's been sneaking around in the shadows and sniffing for treasure.
Just like us.
Well, sir, explain yourself. It's as plain as day this ruffian's a bloodthirsty killer who's been chasing us. Where you from, Hamburg? Not that it really matters. You're obviously a dirty immigrant thief. Probably infected with cholera or
What
something.
is with you and
None of your
immigrants,
business.
James?
Where I was born, you bastard!
Look, I don't really care where you were born, and I agree. He is a bastard. But tell me, did you kill all these people?
Look, I'm an immigrant. I'm a thief, and maybe I did drop a chandelier on you. But that's just because I wanted the whole pie for myself.
So you did kill all these people?
No, I swear to God. Not your God, bigot.
What do you mean?
It was the couple. The couple who look after this place.
What?
I'm telling you the truth. I've seen them. I've been down here a long time. Usually they use an axe when they catch thieves. The thieves come down here unarmed. They're stupid. They get caught from behind. I'd watch my back if I were you.
Unbelievable.
No, I'm telling you. The lucky ones die on the first strike. I've heard the others screaming through the night, clutching their bellies. I find them in the morning dead. No, I'm telling you, their fingers to their hearts, right through to their organs with the pain. Look, take it or leave it, but I'm telling you the truth. Those two, they're Satan incarnate. I may look shady, but killing's not my style. Look, the more wholesome they look on the outside, the colder and uglier the heart is. Just look at him!
Yeah. Good assessment for a thief.
You're crazy if you believe this scoundrel. This killer's obviously executed hundreds of people. He needs to be turned into the police and judged in a proper forum.
We're crazy. Why? Just because he's an immigrant? Or is it because he's one of the unsaved? That's bull and you know it, you pig-headed old bigot.
What I'm trying
I
to say
believe
is...
this guy. Thieves can be exceedingly honest, you know? Still, he did try to kill us. For that.
What did you do that for?
If our lives cease being threatened, then it's a victory for God and all his glory, right? But if we go on letting them attack us, then the filthy, godless pagans win. Which would you like to bet on?
Oof. Yeah, I'm still gonna stand by the fact that I think the voice acting's pretty damn good in this game. I think it's pretty good anyways. Definitely better than Resident Evil 1. I don't know why I keep harping on Resident Evil 1. It's not that I don't like it or anything. I just want to harp on it. Because, to be honest, I just want to be a contrarian. No, but, I mean, obviously, that's what makes Resident Evil 1 so special, right? The campy voice acting just being so bad. That's kind of what makes it great. Anyways, if you check his body, you can get some ammo, but you can also get a new gun, which we will equip to James, just because it is a little better than what we have. He loses a little vitality, but that's okay. He's not going to be near enemies that often anyways. But with that, though, we can continue on into this room, which we cannot go through, unfortunately. As you can see, there's tiles on the floor. There's also some shotgun shells, which kind of gives you an idea about the next kind of heavy weapon we'll be getting, a shotgun. Pretty damn strong, but unfortunately those shotguns can only hold up to 2 shots in every gun. Which makes leveling up to level 3 completely useless, because you obviously can only shoot what's in your gun, and if you shoot both of them, then you can't shoot a third. It'd be awesome, though, if your character would reload if they were going to shoot a third shot instead, so you didn't have to waste a turn. But it doesn't work like that. Anyways, though, this door has a mechanized lock, but we do not know how to open it. The tiles on the floor kind of give us a hint, but we cannot do anything about that for the moment. Thankfully, we get another level up, and that's just going into some luck and into some, what am I going to put it in? Intel. Good job. But, yeah. So, with that, though, I was just making sure there's nothing over there. With that, though, I love the squeaking. With the red key, though, as I said, we can go see the caretakers and go back to the treasure room we passed earlier in the last part. And also, while going to the treasure room, there is an item we need to get. If you remember, there was a there was something stuck in the wall, but we could not get to it. And after defeating the Dark Young in the last part, we will now be able to get it. But we will do that in a minute, because first we are heading over to the beginning of the game to go see the caretakers. Now, whether they're there or not, I am not sure, but we will go see them anyways. To again thank them for the delicious poisonous meal they gave us. But, yeah, it's kind of weird being back here in the beginning. It's kind of cool, though. Go down the stairs, doot, doot, doot. And the enemies here are super weak, so there's, like, no point in fighting them. You can run away from them, but it's just a waste of time to fight anything, really, here. I think one dropped an item, though. Or something happened. I don't know why I'm showing you my stats. I don't remember exactly why. Something happened. Oh, I think he leveled up. Yeah, I think Edward leveled up his one of his abilities. So I'm just changing it. I'm gonna eventually start working on bastard swords. Unfortunately, I don't have any. I only have like normal swords, like the rapier, but I don't have any bastard swords because there's a secret item we get later in the game that is a bastard sword, and I want to make sure that Edward is efficient enough with it. So it makes the game a lot easier. But you have to beat a secret boss to get it. Anyways, here's the room from before. It's quite nice. Anyways, on this table is a statue, a dragon statue. You, of course, need this. So we now have two statues. We have the dragon statue, and we have the lion statue that we got before in the treasure room, along with a teddy bear that had a letter in it. Yep, of course, we don't know what this statue is for at the moment, but you do need to collect them. But they're pretty easy. There's only 3 of them, and there's only 1 more left that we need to get. Anyways, over on this table, there are some rifle rounds. They're easy to spot because they're glowing, so make sure you grab those. Gonna switch to the rifle pretty soon. Because the rifle is a little better than the... Nice thing is, though, the rifles usually can hold at least 6 shots, so that's nice. Anyways, here we have a special enemy called the Black Cat. Now, this enemy is special because... Well, I'll explain in a minute. So anyways, this is the Black Cat. It's level 20 to 45. Its HP is 729 to 2,209. Its MP ranges from 90 to 240, and it absorbs light. Which is familiar. It's said that anyone who crosses its path will be cursed with bad luck for 7 years. It likes to catch mice in the monastery grounds and frequently likes to drink from the fountain in the courtyard. Now that is actually a hint. We haven't gone to the courtyard yet, but there is a very special item in the courtyard that without we actually cannot get, we cannot beat the game. And there's a point at the game though where you cannot go back. There's a point where you can't go back, and if you want to beat the game, you need to get this item. And the cat, the Black Cat, will actually drop it for you. Because I guess it was playing in the fountain and it found the item. But yeah, though, we'll talk about it more when we get to that point, but yeah. It's interesting, though. I guess Black Cats are kind of seen as evils because they were thought that witches or demons were transforming in them to sometimes escape. And sometimes, I guess, even white cats are seen as unlucky, too, which is interesting. I did not know that. Anyways, a picture of a sinking ship. Okay. Very nice. And over here, there's actually 2 items in this room. The second item is actually really tricky to see, but it is actually helpful. So anyways, we have Volnal's doll. If you remember, the name should sound familiar. Volna is one of the little children skeletons in the basement. It's like I think it's like the basement corridor that had the green card, but we could not get because they would not give it to us because they were asking for their dolls. And the second item is over here. Is a mask. This mask is actually useful because it wards off weaker enemies. So enemies that are, I don't know exactly how it works, but I believe it's kind of like a repel. It just wards off weaker enemies. But I think it's also used to get a rare item. The rare item drops from the specific enemy I was grinding off of. Otherwise, you don't get the item, I think. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I think it kind of works as 2 different things. Anyways, I'm dropping some items because there is an inventory limit. It actually is pretty fairly huge, though. I know the inventory limit is like around 50, I think. So it's pretty, you can hold a lot of stuff. But, yeah. Gremlins and other weak spirits. So, yeah, with that. That's optional, you don't have to pick it up, but it definitely doesn't hurt to pick it up. Ooh, I almost spilled my tea, and I spilled my tea on my Lovecraft book. No! Oh, man. Damn. Oh, it's just the bottom. Okay, it's okay. None of the paper's ruined. It's just the bottom. Damn, that sucks. Damn, Koudelka, I'm trying to talk about my ruined book, and you want to look at pictures.
She was a pleasure boat that went down in a terrible accident in the Thames. This one, too. And this one. What's going on? They're all the Princess Alice. going on?
Now that scene's optional. You have to click on the picture frame to see it. But yeah, it just kind of gives us something about a ship. Of course, we don't know what connection it has, but it seems to have some connection to the caretakers. Why would they have pictures of the sinking ship so close to their quarters if it didn't mean something to them? Anyways, though, just gotta refill James up with some ammo and continue on the way. And get stuck on the table. Yeah, though. So with that, we need to continue and head back to the thinking. I can't think. Sorry, for some reason I had the Danny Phantom theme song in my head. I haven't watched Danny Phantom in a long time. I remember I used to watch it, but I don't remember anything about it except for that catchy as hell theme song. Anyways, let's continue on. I really do like the layout of the monastery. Like, the first time I played with this game, it confused me. Second time, I kind of got it. Third time, I was pretty good at it. Fourth time, I know it really well. And I really like the layout. It just feels, I like it, you know. It makes sense to me now, you know, after playing it so many times now. I guess, I don't know if 4 is so many times, because this game is pretty short. This is a very short game, especially if you skip the cutscenes, because after the first time, I just skipped the cutscenes. Just because I didn't really want to watch them again. I mean, and then I watched them again on the third time because I was like, well, I might as well watch them again. And then on the fourth time, I guess this is the fourth time, so I'm watching them again. I don't know. Anyways, let's just go. Just keep heading downstairs. And if you remember, this is what I was talking about before, this little place in the wall, thanks to defeating the Dark Young and purifying that holy water up above, the water is running down the wall, and we can go and grab the goat statue, which is the final golden statue we need. But for what, we do not know at the moment, but we will need it very soon enough. Thankfully, though, we're going to be able to get a lot of our items out of our inventory. We're going to be able to drop off the statues and all the pieces of glass soon, which will be very nice, because they just take up a lot of space. So we'll be able to drop those off fairly soon. But if you remember, okay, this is the storage room, not the treasure room, whatever. Anyway, if you come in there, this place also needed the red key. And this is the last door with the red key required. And we don't need it anymore, so we can throw it away. And here we have a couple of items. We have, I believe, a Roman nut. Yes, a Roman nut. We have a Roman nut. Very good. I only use like one Roman nut through the game, because I think my characters have only fainted twice. One before, and then there will be one more. Anyways, you're going to want to pick up this music box. It is required. We will be using it fairly soon, so that's good. And then there's some ammo over here. More pistol rounds, which we will definitely use. And then, if you come over here, well, once I look at the music box, there is a crate, and it gives us a hint. It gives us a hint about how to get past the upper floor. If you remember, after defeating the thief, there's a floor. But we didn't know how to get past. And here it has symbols written on it. Now, the interesting thing is, though, there's actually 2 sets of symbols. There's this one here, and then there's, I guess, one more somewhere else, because that only shows us half of the floor. And I honestly don't know where the other half is. I figured out... I somehow accidentally figured out how to get past the floor without the other set of hints, and it's not too hard, but I accidentally figured it out, so, and I just kept it in mind, so, yeah, it's not too hard, but I'm not really sure how I figured it out. I actually got really lucky. I think I was fumbling with the controls, because this is tank controls, so it's easy to go the wrong way, so yeah, thankfully, though, that doesn't matter too much, because it's an RPG. It's not, you know, tank controls in an RPG is actually not the worst thing, just because all the combat takes place in the controlled RPG fighting mechanics, so I can't take any damage from anything that might try and hurt me outside of that. So don't have to worry about that. There's no obstacles to avoid and nothing like that. But continue going up the stairs, and we will go through this room. I feel kind of bad for shooting that dude. Well, I didn't shoot him, but Edward did. What the squeak? Anyways, though, what's nice is, though, if you see the box, it shows, it reminds you, which is kind of nice. But I don't know how I figured out the rest. Like I said, I think it was pure luck. So if you go this way, and then you go back. Yeah, I have no idea how I figured that out. And then you go all the way over here. I was thinking for a second, and then bam, there you go. I think, if I remember correctly, I read that it's like somewhere on a wall, but I have no idea where. But you know what, though? We're coming up to the end of the video, and I will see you in the next part as we continue exploring. Bye then.